welcome back to Lucid Raver. My name is Brooke and I'm your host. And this week we have Alex. Say hello.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
And this week we're going to talk about his first festival experience, and that will be a recap of EDC Orlando 2022. Before we get into that, Alex, can you tell us about how old you are, where you're from, and when did you first start listening to EDM?
Yeah, so I am a ripe 25 years old, and I'm from lovely Buffalo, New York. I first started listening to EDM when I was probably like 19 or so, but I didn't really get super in depth. It was normally like more chill stuff like Kygo or Odessa. I didn't really explore all the subgenres of it.
But that's a good first start, is that light EDM chill.
Yeah, I
vibe.
just liked it because when I was in school, I could like just focus on my work and have something in the background and not really get too distracted by the lyrics or anything.
It's
like
like one step away from lo-fi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like chill,
Yeah.
not really too many lyrics or anything going on.
And you said you're from Buffalo, so there isn't much of a EDM scene out there.
There is not. No, it's a very foreign thing in Buffalo. I have a few friends that would go to Electric Forest, but I could probably count on one hand the amount of people I know from Buffalo that have gone to any sort of festival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So me and Alex had met a couple of months ago, and he told me that he never went to a music festival. And I knew that EDC Orlando was coming up, and I was just like, well, if you want to come to EDC Orlando, I'll give you the grand tour, since I'm such a veteran at this point.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted him to, like, I don't know, be a part of the community, see what's about. I know that you moved down here less than a year ago, so you don't have too many people around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like bringing you into my friend group and also the EDM community, I feel is a great opportunity for you to blossom and meet new people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. um, so I had offered to take him to EDC and he said yes. What were your thoughts and expectations?
Man, I really didn't know what to expect, to be totally honest with you. I knew it was going to be a little on the wild side, but as far as like what I actually went in there expecting, I absolutely had zero idea what I was really walking into.
Did you think maybe it was going to be like some baby music event or?
I didn't think it was going to be as large as it was.
Mm-hmm.
That I think the size of it and how many people were there in such a small space is really the shocking part to me, I guess.
Did you like any of the art installation set up or?
Yeah. Like I had no idea
what to expect.
Yeah, exactly. Like I
Were you a little bit nervous?
a little bit, I guess, just that kind of fear of the unknown, really, more than anything. But yeah.
Just were you prepping, listening to EDM music before? Or are you just like, I'll figure it out when I get there?
Yeah, I pretty much was just like, I'll figure it out.
YOLO.
Yeah, I'm not much of a planner, so I'm happy you were there to kind of like help me with all that stuff.
On my like side of it, I was a little nervous because I didn't know that like how you were gonna react, because I've never really taken someone to their first festival before. Like usually, like my first festival was with my best friend, and it was her first festival too. So
Right.
It was experience together. But you know, festivals aren't meant for everyone, and I was a little nervous that you might hate it. But
Right.
I don't know. He seemed really chill. I think he's gonna have his shit together. But like, it is a intense environment to be in, for sure. So for preparation, how did you prepare for this festival?
Like I said, I really didn't know what to expect, but you sent me your TikTok video of what I need to bring, so I just wanted to make sure had everything that you had on that list, because I didn't want to be like a lost puppy walking around there.
So what did you buy?
Like the hydration pack, chapstick, gum,
The earplug
earplugs that I didn't
didn't
use.
use?
Yeah. Candy, just all stuff like that. Yeah.
And what did you find most beneficial that you bought?
The hydration pack.
Yeah,
I'm very happy that I had that.
being able to refill up whenever you want, and just hold all your stuff.
Yeah, because I don't like to have to like carry stuff around with me, so it's nice to just have a backpack where you could throw everything in it. And then also like the concession lines are so long, it would have been terrible to just stand in line just to
I mean,
get a
free
bottle of
water,
Yeah,
like
exactly. You can't go wrong.
yeah,
You can't go
yeah.
wrong with it.
Yeah, I was sending him my preparation videos and telling him little tips and tricks of like festival life, just trying to prepare him.
Yeah.
I was like, when we get there, we try to find like an area to meet up if we get lost, and if you don't have any service, switch off your data and turn it back on. Make sure your phone's on battery saving mode. And you're like, wow, you just know everything.
Yeah. And luckily I had all those tips and tricks because like having cell phone service was an issue, and
Yeah.
it is like ridiculously easy to get lost in
Oh,
the
yeah.
crowd, and
And
then you don't have service and you're lost and you don't know where you are, or you don't know where your friends are, and
that this year was actually the worst year for service for sure. Like
yeah,
there
I
was
had zero.
yeah, it was a little rough, but we made it through. Also for my expectations, I just like was interested to see how you were going to react with all my friends, cuz you met a good portion of my fucking friends.
Yeah.
Like, and my friends are so outgoing, so loving, caring. They're just like, I think that they just brought you in. They're like, come on, let's just.
Yeah. And that's a great part of it. And everybody that I met there, even like strangers that you're just standing next to, they're all very welcoming. They're very kind. And then when they find out they're your first festival, they're like, oh shit, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Okay, so we're gonna go into detail about EDC Orlando and go from there. Like to say, in the past couple years, I would drive to EDC Orlando and park around the vicinity of the stadium. My ex had his car broken in once. My other ex had his car stolen. My other friend had her car broken into. So April, such an angel, she said that she rented some type of van to drive us all weekend, which was such a freaking lifesaver. If you can get a group of people and rent a van, like have someone just chauffeur you back and forth each day, totally freaking do it.
Yeah.
We did, however, we messed up every single night trying to find the van.
Yeah.
It was very confusing. We didn't know where we dropped off, and like it was definitely a team effort trying to find our van.
And by the time you get out and it's dark and there's just people walking out around everywhere, it's like
we're like
impossible. Yeah.
You know, you're a little tipsy. You're just like, I think it's the street. Who knows? Ricardo was a great driver though. So we got to April's house. We got into the car and got dropped off day one of EDC Orlando. And I was racing. Like, I was like, Alex, we have to go see J to G right freaking now.
Yeah.
That's the second artist that I want to see all weekend, because apparently Wilkeson got canceled. That was my number one artist. And then it would have been Biscuits and then J to G. So I had to bump up J to G to number 2. And we went to Neon Garden. And he hasn't seen Neon Garden previously, but the past couple of years, Neon Garden was under like this big hangar, and it was, I don't know, it was just so packed last year, especially for Dom Dalla and John Summit. And this year they turned Neon Garden into a full circle, which looked really cool, but later on when we get talking about it, it just wasn't the smartest idea in like designing that stage.
Yeah.
Like that, because you just have a lot of people crammed in one circle. But being able to see J to G for the first time, she was a vibe. She was vibing. Saw her hair flowing. She's like,
yeah.
So seeing her for the first time, getting her off my bucket list, that was a really great experience. And then I feel like we just started roaming around that day. And where did we go? We saw a couple of artists. We saw I'm like blanking out.
12th Planet.
12th Planet.
Yeah.
That wasn't my favorite 12th Planet set. And I remember later in the night we had ended back up seeing Zed's Dead.
Yes.
And let me tell you, that was the best Zed's Dead set I've ever seen. And I've seen Zed's Dead multiple times, and the last couple times it just really wasn't hitting the spot. But I think that they did a really good job of playing a good amount of like bass, halftime D&B, and I think they played a little bit of house, right? Like a little tiny sprinkle of it.
Yeah. Then they started like remixing songs and stuff like that too. That was definitely one of my more favorite sets of the festival.
That was, well, tied for one of my favorite sets.
Yeah.
And you had told me that you started off listening to Zed's Dead, correct?
Yeah, like Collapse was like probably one of the first EDM songs I really heard, and I remember just driving around listening to it. Just it's a great song.
So how'd you feel when you saw like Zed for the first time? Like all
it
coming
was
together?
awesome, especially when they started playing that song live. Just hearing it live, it's just it brings a whole new like appreciation for the music style. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did have Zed's Dead at Circuit Ground though, and I do have to say I was extremely disappointed with the setup for Circuit Ground. They literally only had the backstage with their panels facing us. There was no side stage panels because Circuit Grounds is like a half C usually. Like you have side panels encompassing you like halfway through, not like a full circle. And I know that there was a rainstorm a couple days before and it like flooded out everything, and they were last minute trying to put everything together, but it just really looked incomplete. And I was kind of underwhelmed with that stage. There were some brilliant performances there for sure. We saw Dimension. You saw the drum and bass artist.
Yes.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Dimension filled in for Wilkeson, and it was still a great time. I wish I still had seen Wilkeson. But yeah, for that day, it was a pretty good day.
Yeah, the first day was definitely a good day too. I feel like it was a little the music style was a little heavier the first day than the second day. Yeah.
Going into the next day though was what I was anticipating for like the best day because of biscuits. But we got in the car, we got there, and we stumbled into Domdala. And it was so freaking packed at Kinetic Field. Kinetic Field is the main stage at EDC Orlando. And the previous years, they had a lot more space. But this year, there was like the stage, and like we're facing it, and like this 1/3 portion of the stage area is VIP. And it was just taking up so much fucking space. Everyone's just like cramped like this. We decide for all of our friends to find us. We decided to stand right in front of the sound booth because like you can't miss that. And that was probably the worst spot for us to stand.
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic going
Everyone's
there.
just like, and I was like, fuck, like this is never gonna fucking end. Dom Dollar was still an amazing experience, but I definitely regret standing where we were standing.
Yeah, it was hard to kind of spread out. I felt like you were a little tucked against the rail just because like there was just heavy traffic going through there.
You're like, dang it.
Yeah.
So Dom Dalla came on, and then I think that we were waiting for biscuits, and the whole like plan was for everyone to meet us up at biscuits. So me and Alex left early to go to the restrooms, and I think we took some pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
And we go to Stereo Bloom, which out of all the stages, Stereo Bloom was my favorite. The design, the intimacy of how small it is, the fact that you can go underneath the stage and get like right up close.
Yeah.
That, in my opinion, was my favorite stage. But we get there, and I'm looking for the O-Town Shuffler flag, which is like this whole big shuffler group in Orlando. And they said they're going to be there left-hand side. And he could just see me like just
looking all over the
I'm
place.
like, where the fuck is everyone? I have no fucking service. I'm supposed to meet up with my best friend Oriana. She's not there. I have April and her group that are supposed to be there. I can't fucking find them. And I'm like trying to get into the music. It starts and it's such a fucking vibe. And I'm like dancing, but also like stressing. And you can see me just like, fuck.
Just trying to find anybody.
I'm like, where are my
Yeah.
friends? Because I wanted to shuffle with my fucking
Yeah.
friends. And finally, my friend Obi was able to get service. He goes, I know you're here. And I was like, shit. And he was able to meet up with us. I was like, okay, you two stay here. I'm just going to look around for like one more shot. And I go to the front left and I ran into one of the girls in April's group. And I was like, oh shit. She's like, everyone's up here. We're literally underneath the front of the stage. I'm like, what? So I grabbed both of them and we scooted up there and it was so fucking good. Like I
Yeah.
was shuffling my ass off. It was just such a good vibe. The energy was on point. Everyone was thriving, and I just knew that it was going to be the best house set of the weekend, in my opinion. What is your opinion?
Yeah, it was definitely it was really cool to get that close up to the stage, and like I felt like I could throw something and hit him when he was performing, but also just being that close, you just have all the lights on you, the fog machines and everything. It was just like a whole different
A vibe.
Yeah, it's just a whole like world up there basically.
Yeah, because we were so far back. It didn't occur to me that we could be that freaking close. But I have been that close before at EDC Las Vegas for the same stage. And yeah, just being able to touch the rail and be underneath the stage at the same time and just in and out. There was so much like secret space over there.
Yeah, there was plenty of room there.
Yeah.
And it felt like everybody down there was just having a good time.
They were like
you didn't even realize there's a huge crowd of people behind you. Like you couldn't even see them really.
Yeah.
You only saw the people that were down by the stage and
literally just in your own freaking world.
Exactly.
So we did that and then everyone decided that we wanted to go to John Summit because it's fucking John Summit. And I was like, dude, you have to go see this. So I'm with April and her group. There's at least like 8 of them. And then it's us 2. And I brought my little totem pole, which saved us all fucking weekend.
It did.
I have this little totem pole with this little glow up fiber whip that I just tape on to the end of it. And I just kind of like point around and hey.
Yeah.
And first off, we went to go to the bathrooms, and the layout for the bathrooms, at first I commended the first day, and then for the second day, it was just out of this world. They moved all the bathrooms inside of the stadium underneath it, and they only had like a 2-door open space for people to walk through.
Yeah.
And that created so much like traffic, like you had to squeeze through. And like I remember I grabbed onto your hand for dear life, and April and Corey were holding on, and I literally walked 5 minutes in the depths of those porta potties, and we went to the very last porta potty area because all the lines were just like insane. I was like, you're never going to get anywhere if you're going to go in the first couple porta potties. That's like an hour long. We get back there, go to the bathroom, somehow wiggle ourselves back out of there. And I'm like, all right, guys, let's go to John Summit. But before that even happened, we were noticing that the crowd was insane.
It was ridiculous.
You want to go into depth with that?
Yeah, so you're just trying to get from one stage to the next, and there were so many people that it was literally like pushing up against you. You couldn't move, and you feel like if you let go of the person you're holding on to, they're just gone forever. There's no way you'd be able to like work your way back through the crowd, and it's just it was weird. I did not like that part at all. It just felt like you can't breathe almost because there's just so many people like pushing in on you from every direction. And then at that point of the night, you're kind of feeling it a little bit. So that makes it even worse because you're just like not everything's not totally clear to you. So it just, that was probably the one part I was like, oh my God, I got to get away from all these people.
It really got scary real quick. Because we tried to leave from the bathrooms to John Summit, which is at Circuit Grounds. Mind you, not Circuit Grounds, a Neon Garden. Mind you, Neon Garden is a fucking circle. Everyone and their fucking mother was walking to John Summit at that exact same time. And we like noticed real quick that like we needed to hold onto each other for dear life. So I was grabbing onto my friends. I had my stick, and literally we were like chest to chest, back to back with people. Like we were semi getting crushed, and we were kind of stagnant. Like we were all moving like a herd of cows.
Yeah.
And it was just like super uncomfortable, really scary. The thing is, I've already been through this situation 3 other times in my life besides this one. So I was more okay with the situation. I mean, I wasn't, but like I could handle it because I've been almost smothered 3 times.
Yeah.
And it is scary. But like literally last year, EDC Orlando is one of those times that I almost got smothered. It was me trying to leave the festival. Everyone was trying to leave, and it was going from that bathroom area past the entrance that we came in, and it was just a wall, like right next to the lake. It was a wall of people, and we got stuck in it for a good 10 minutes, and we started getting crushed. And my friend, she goes, fuck no, and like pulls us out. We go back out the way that we came and walked around the whole entire festival just to get out. And that's why I didn't want to come back to EDC Orlando this year, because that was like scary in itself. But come to day 2 of the festival, fucking festival, and it's like that in the middle of the day, not even towards the very end of the night. Like it just felt so overpacked for no fucking reason. They probably increased the attendance. I don't know. It feels like an extra 5, maybe 10,000 people. Like I remember years ago, it was just like not like that, not claustrophobic.
Yeah, and it was not even remotely close to being like that the first day. So
yeah,
it was kind of like it came out of nowhere almost. Like I feel like we were just walking, and then the next thing you know, it's just you're just being swarmed, and all that's going through your head is like, am I gonna be trampled right now? Like, what is going on here?
Straight alarm. We're like, holy shit. What the fuck? So we're walking, and it takes us about 10-ish minutes to get to John Summit, and we are on the outside behind the stage, and we stop, and it's just madness everywhere. No one knows what they're doing. We're all kind of a little fucked up, not gonna lie. And they're like, let's go on to this side. Let's go over here. Like Andy was pushing for it. I was like, nah, bro, that's going to be so packed. Phoebe, in our group, she was like, felt super uncomfortable. And she goes, I can't do that. Like, I want to stay in the back. And she just dipped. And like, that's totally perfectly fine. If you feel overstimulated and you don't want to be where like in a certain area, then go and in an area that you feel safe and comfortable in. Like, don't force yourself into situations that you know are going to make you feel uncomfortable and freak out.
Yeah.
So like I respect that she's like stood up for herself and like, you know, voiced out like her, you know, her concern.
Yeah, definitely. And like I'm not claustrophobic. Like tight spaces don't freak me out or anything like that. But like you said, you're already like a little fucked up at that point. And that's the first time in my life I ever felt like this is what it would feel like to be claustrophobic, because I did not like that at all.
And
it was very,
it's scary.
Not cool. Yeah. It freaks you out.
And like knowing that it was his first festival, and we got to that point, like we're all just trying to figure out, everyone doesn't know what they're gonna do. It got like so hectic. I said no. I grabbed Alex. I said, we're leaving.
Yeah.
I was like, we're not dealing with this. I can't. I'm in charge of you and you only. I'm going to get us out of here.
Yeah, gotta make it out alive.
Yeah. So I grabbed him. We ditched everyone. We went to the very back of the festival and we could barely see the performance. It was a little bit of a vibe, but I just, after all that shit, I was like, I don't want to even be here.
Yeah, but it was definitely needed though to just like chill and just recoup and gather yourself and be like, oh my God, what just happened back
Yeah.
there? So it was nice to actually just kind of like sit and
Well, so we went to go see a little bit of John Summit from the very far back. We were there for like less than 10 minutes. And I was like, nah.
yeah.
So I grabbed him and we went towards the lake, and we were sitting across the lake from Stereo Bloom. So we were actually able to see the Vanessa back-to-back Jay Wara set, which I really wanted to see. And it worked out perfectly. We were sitting down, getting to chill, and that was such a fun set seeing across the lake.
That was a good set.
Yeah. It just like was calming us. We were able to just enjoy like our surroundings. There was like cool visuals and some lady in the air doing some wavy stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
She was like 30 feet in the air, just woo.
Yeah.
But yeah, being able to sit down and just like try to reassure you that like I promise you festivals are better than this.
Always like that. Yeah.
But we got to chill out, and then you got your friend Garfield to come meet up with us.
Yeah, so he texted me and we were like she said, we just kind of pulled off to the side and was chilling in the grass and just trying to like gather our thoughts again and relax after being in that situation. And my friend Garfield texted me and he was like, hey, where are you? And I was like, oh, I'm off to the side. And at first I was like, there's no way I'm going to go back in there and like try to find this kid right now. But then I texted him and I was like, are you with your friends? And he was like, no, I'm alone. And I was like, oh no. So now I have to go try to find him. But luckily it worked out well. It wasn't crazy busy where we were, I think just because it was kind of in the middle of sets. So we were just kind of in the art installation area, and luckily I was found him pretty quickly. So
yeah. He's a cool cat. I'm glad that he was able to. You got to have one of your friends to come join you.
Yeah.
So we went from there to back to Circuit Grounds, and we caught like the last half of Blunts and Blondes.
Yes.
And my best friend Allie met up with me, and that was a good Blunts and Blonde set. Not my favorite, but it was a vibe.
It was good, yeah.
It was a good Wook time.
Yeah.
I was also trying to explain to him what a Wook was, and then
Yeah.
by the end of the weekend, he goes, I know what a Wook is.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. You just need to like see it to understand. You're just like, okay, yeah, that's a Wook.
Yeah. Wook.
Yeah, exactly.
But we were there, and I had promised before all of this, April was throwing this massive like EDM after party later that night. I promised that I would leave by like 11 o'clock to help her set up her party. So, or like before 11 o'clock. And I was like, okay, we'll just watch 10 or 15 minutes of sudden death, just a little bit, because me and Allie are little sluts about sudden death, and he's never seen it. I gave him a couple songs of sudden death, and he was like, yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah.
And the opening begins, so you can talk about sudden death.
Yeah, so like I said in the beginning, I really only listened to some, very chill EDM, like never anything too heavy really at all. And then we went to sudden death and it changed my life. I am like such a freak. Like it can't get heavy enough, honestly. Like that's all I want to do now is just go to a set like that and just get fucking ignorant.
Just break your face.
Yeah, exactly. Just headbang all night long.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know who Sudden Death is by now, go look him up. But basically, he's part of the Sudden Death cult now.
Oh my God, yeah.
And with those 15 minutes that I saw, that was actually a really good set. We had to leave after 15, and we were walking away from the festival for quite some time, and just hearing from the distance, he was throwing the fuck down.
Yeah. We were probably like a good quarter mile away, and
all you could hear
still just like,
fuck.
what is he doing over there?
Oh yeah. But he is definitely gonna see sudden death
Oh my
again.
god, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's almost like difficult to go to any other set that's not super heavy like that for me now, just because like I like the type of music I've liked before is like definitely heavier rock, like
Mm-hmm.
all stuff like that. So it spoke to my soul,
You're like, fuck
especially
it.
with like the graphics, and then you got the fire and people on who knows what they're on, and it just feels like you're just summoning Satan like when it's that heavy.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're. Me and Ali had told him that we followed sudden death around 6 times last year, and he goes, "What?"
And I totally understand why now.
um, so let's go into rating the vibes of the festival.
Okay, so like I don't have anything to kind of like base it against really, but overall I really liked it. I just like lights and just colorful things, and I feel like they do a good job there. Like Daisy Lane was really cool,
Mm-hmm.
just walking around and seeing all the lights and everything. So I would rate it highly. Again, not really having anything to like pin it up
And
against.
how about the people? The energy of the people.
Other than that one time where people got like a little pushy and shovey, everybody was like really down to earth, really cool, and that was that was probably one of the cooler parts, is just meeting more people and just kind of vibing with them, like complete strangers, and you're just like, hey, what's up?
Like,
Yeah,
yo, you're cool.
yeah, exactly.
Yo, I like your outfit. Oh, dope.
Yeah, yeah.
The vibes were pretty chill this year. I mean, I know so many people. I kept running into so many fucking people. I was like, hey, you. Oh. So, I mean, that's my home festival. It's gonna be it's bound to be amazing. So, I had a really good time. The overcrowding, though, wasn't a fan of. I wish that Insomniac would do better and bring the attendance down by at least 5 to 10,000 people.
Yeah, it feels completely avoidable.
Yeah,
You like
yeah. The
just don't sell so many
the
tickets.
safety of your attendees is more important than the profit that you're making.
Yeah, and if you're that worried, just increase ticket prices a little bit,
And
like
you can shut the fuck
yeah.
up. For venue, how would you rate the venue?
um Again, if you're going to have crowds that big, you need to increase the venue size. I
Mm-hmm.
would say that's my biggest complaint, but other than that, everything was laid out well, like I liked being able to walk around the lake and stuff like that. So overall, not accounting for how overcrowded it gets, it was a good venue.
In my opinion, this is my ninth year of EDC Orlando, and they definitely need to expand. I just don't think that they have enough room anymore at this point. So either they need to move it to a new location, which just doesn't seem feasible because it's located in Orlando. It's called EDC Orlando. I don't think that they're going to be able to find a bigger spot than what it currently is. Also, for stages, I was underwhelmed with Kinetic. Um, Neon Garden seemed cool, but when it came to having people in there, it just wasn't a strategic move for them.
Yeah.
Scary Bloom was still amazing as always. Kinetic Field, I love the setup. It was drop dead gorgeous, but the size of the venue, they significantly reduced the area of people being able to stand there, and making 1/3 of that stage just for VIP was obnoxious. So do better. Work
Yeah.
on it, please. For all of us. Um for venue, yeah, I would give it a C.
A C. Wow.
I
I
mean,
I would say though that circuit grounds, for the that's what it's called, right? Circuit
yeah.
grounds. Yeah. For the level of performance there, it was just that was definitely the most
Oh yeah.
underwhelming stage. Like
Underwhelming?
yeah,
Okay.
it was just like three screens really,
Yeah.
and I feel like they were just going so hard at that stage
Yeah.
both days, and it just did not do the artist
You
justice at
really
all.
got fucking gypped this year. I'm so sorry. Because
It's all good.
it usually is like some side panels on each side, but
Yeah.
I think because of the rain they didn't set up, or they just were on a
Yeah, because
budget.
there was a hurricane like 3 days before the event, so
Let me tell you, the hurricane like fucked everyone's flights up. So
yeah,
a lot of people had to pay extra money to fly down here or figure out
yeah.
like a different contingency plan to get down here. And I'm just like, good luck.
Yeah. And I felt again for that stage, just the way they had it set up. It was probably the only stage where you felt very like you're still having fun. You can still hear the music, feel the music, but it felt like a little disconnected just because it really just had like the 3 screens set up in a straight
Just a
line.
little underwhelming.
And so like if
Yeah.
you're not right up there, there's really like nothing around you besides.
Yeah, we got up there pretty close.
Yeah, we got close, and
Yeah.
still it feels like you're
Yeah.
not as engaged as you are at the other stages.
The wow factor wasn't
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Like the music had enough punch in Wow Factor, but it just I feel like for a stage that was playing that caliber of music and that caliber of artists, it definitely should be a little more engaging. Yeah.
I agree. For art installations, what would you rate that as?
They were super cool. I really like those. Yeah. If I were to rate those, I would give it a B.
Yeah.
Only because I felt like they probably could have put more in there.
Yeah.
You know?
So they usually take a lot of those art installations from EDC Vegas and just transfer it to EDC Orlando.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like hand me down
Right.
art installations. I love the art installations. They always have just like fun, vibrant stuff going on everywhere. I give it a B plus just because it's EDC. And for performances,
All the performances were great that we went to.
hell yeah.
Yeah, so I would give the performances an A, just because
What were your top ones?
I really liked Camelback.
Camel fat?
Yes,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah. That was really cool. Sudden Death was easily my favorite. And then Zed's Dead came in at number 2. Yeah.
Biscuits?
Yeah, that was a good set. Yeah. I always forget about that one. I'm not giving it enough credit for as much fun as we had.
I was like, come on.
I know. I'm just gravitating towards the heavier ones. Like I feel like I'm more personally like engaged, and like I just throw down at those sets and just have a good time.
It's all good.
Yeah.
For me, performances, most of the performances this year were, really good. Especially like seeing Jada G for the first time. I commend her on that. Camel Fat, I haven't seen in forever. That was a vibe. Everyone did a really good job. I would say my top performances would be tied between Biscuits and Zed's Dead. Sudden Death is always a given. I had a really good time in those 15 minutes. Dom Dalla did an exceptional job, and that back-to-back Jay Wara back-to-back Vanessa, I was very surprised about. Gave it like a little bit of a Dirty Bird vibe, which I was really thriving off of. Jay Wara is going to be playing at Okeechobee, and I'm super excited to see Jay Wara again. What could be improved in your opinion?
Again, I hate to keep bringing this back or like keep referring to it, but definitely more space or less people, one of the two.
Agree.
Just not fun when you get in situations like that. Even like you said, going to the bathroom was a hassle. Like it was like
crazy.
Yeah.
And imagine like you're sauced and trying to navigate through there. It was like a hell in itself.
Yeah. That was definitely day 2 was not easy, if that makes any sense. Once people started filling up, it was like you couldn't go anywhere without it being a whole ass thing, and like the whole group better come or else someone's gonna get lost somewhere.
Yeah. You definitely the buddy system, like have someone with you or you're done. So it's just a lot to take in, and then trying to remember where your friends are because you think they're here and then they blend over there. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
thank God I brought that totem pole.
Yeah. Yeah. And even when you're waiting for people, just because the crowds are so packed, it feels like you're just waiting forever for
Yeah.
everybody to meet back up again.
You're like, fuck, it's
Yeah,
been
you're
an
like, I
hour.
want to go over there.
Yeah, everyone was really impatient. I also heard that there were a lot of phone theft. Like that whole weekend, there was like 2 backpacks that were found by this one guy that got caught because someone traced the phone to this guy's house. And he's like, "Where is it?" And basically, he had buried the backpacks in his front yard, and the police recovered it. There was like 150 fucking cell
Yeah.
phones. And I told you from the get go, pickpocketing is so prevalent there.
Yes, and luckily because I was warned about that, I was cognizant of it, and both days I wore pants that I have that have like little secret zipper pockets that I just kept my wallet and phone in just to avoid that, because
Yeah,
I
no.
would die if that ever happened. That'd be terrible.
Friggin' Garfield's friend had gotten his cell phone stolen.
Yeah, he said his
Yeah.
friend's phone got stolen.
Just, guys, be aware. How has this impacted you moving forward?
Man, in so many good ways, just like meeting new people, which have already led to new opportunity for me. And I'm just a slut, like you said, for just super heavy EDM music, which I did not think I would become such a headbanger. It's just an all around good time. I listen to EDM way more now. I almost find like, I'm a huge music lover. I almost find other genres like boring now.
Exactly.
Like I'll listen to something else and I'm just like, all right, back to this now. Like this isn't doing it for me. So
I love that there's so many subgenres of EDM. So like, you don't do hard bass for a bit, you can go to house, or you can go to techno, or you can go to drum and bass. Like, it's endless. And I find myself just so set into EDM that if I do wander, I'll go to indie for just a little bit and then I'll go right back.
Yeah, that's exactly how I am. Like I'll be at work and I'll be like, I'm gonna put some like rap on, and I'll listen to it for like 4 songs, and I'm like, all right, I gotta get back to
the basics.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just funny, even like I said, I love music, but I've never experienced music in that way. Other genres, you go to the concert and like it's cool and everything, but it's not enhanced, if that makes sense. Like they're offbeat, they're off key or whatever, but when you go to an EDM concert, the music is enhanced somehow. Like you feel the bass that much more, you feel the melody that much more, and you just like, even days after, like I was like 2 days after, I was at Starbucks with some of my work colleagues and they were just playing a song, and I just found myself just like dancing to it, because you just still feel that like rhythm and you still just like vibing out to everything.
It's euphoric being at music festivals.
It absolutely is.
Yeah. Very life-changing. Like,
Definitely. Yeah.
So we had went to after all this, he actually has never been to an EDM show.
Period.
So I took him to his first festival before he went to a show.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it big, right?
So he went to his first EDM show with me, my best friend Allie, and Angel, and we went to the No Sleep Christmas Party Wook show, which had Chumra, Super Future, Salem Moon, and Trip Street. And I had high expectations for Chumra, but that we'd never been to that. None of us have been to that venue. It's level 13, and it was such a good fucking experience.
Yeah, that was fine. That was awesome.
Yeah. There's all these wooks everywhere, just dripped out. It was like this big indoor warehouse, and it was such a good chill vibe.
Yeah, and I'm finding that's what I like more and more, and that's what I listen to more and more, and just like being in that environment and being around those types of fans, it's just like
You're
in the zone, you know, like I just felt very like at home. Like you can just get weird and nobody cares.
everyone just like, but everyone, well, me and Ali had talked about this when it comes to music events like that compared to house events or like hardcore bass events. Those events are really good for networking because
Yeah.
like everyone's kind of chilling and people are more open to just talking to each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
And yeah, I met three of the artists that night, which I was super ecstatic about. It was such a good time, and I'm glad that you're slowly turning into a wook.
Oh my god, I absolutely love it. Like when I went to EDC, my outfits for like I knew outfits at festivals were a thing, so I try to like coordinate, and they were like kind of bright and vibrant.
Hmm.
And now it's just like bucket hat, sunglasses.
We gotta get you a pashmina.
I know, but that's all I need, and I'm good to go now.
Yeah, talking about preparation, he was like, I need to know, like, does this look good for EDC? Blah, blah, blah. So you
Yeah.
definitely prepped in, like, wanting to really fit into the crowd, which I commend you
Yeah.
in.
Like I knew that was just part of the culture of a festival, so I definitely wanted to do my part and not just show up in shorts and
Yeah.
a Nike t-shirt.
Yeah, some people do that. I
Not that
mean,
there's anything wrong with
yeah,
that, but I
yeah.
just wanted to like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do
Do
it,
it
you know?
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I like that you wanted to take it to the next level and
Yeah.
really try.
Yeah.
Um, so your next event, you want to talk about that for a second?
Yes, it's Time Warp.
Yes.
Yes. That is at Ace Cafe
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yes, for New
Yes.
Year's Eve.
Yeah, so that's going to be awesome.
I've been hyping him up about it. I was like, I don't know if you're doing anything for New Year's, but like, come with me and my friends. And I know you like hard shit. It's gonna get fucking silly in there.
Yeah. She's like, it's gonna get rowdy, and I was just like, I'm in. You don't have to sell me on it. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna get rowdy. I'm definitely
Say
going.
less.
Yeah, exactly.
So Hull is playing, and I fucking love Hull. You've never even experienced rhythm before like that. Like you're just gonna lose your fucking head.
And that's all I could ask for.
We also have Sam Vulcan playing. He's one of my friends, and he's gonna be opening up two artists before that. It's just gonna be a stacked lineup for that whole night, and I'm gonna have my girlfriends. He's gonna be there. A couple of my guy friends are gonna be there too, and I'm just ready to fucking send it.
Yeah.
Like
it's a good way to end the year.
hell yeah.
And start the new one.
Well, I'm going to Sunny Federa tomorrow, and that's my favorite house artist. He's gonna be at Celine, and I'm gonna shuffle my heart out, and then I get to go to my favorite rhythm artist and just like be fucking silly. Like I can't ask for a better way to end the year.
I'm so pumped for it. Honestly, I cannot wait for it at all.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
With that being said, is there anything to say to people who have never been to a festival but are thinking about going? Like anything you want to say?
Yes, just do it, because I never thought it would be my vibe. I never thought I would like it as much as I do. And it just, unless you do it, you can't fully describe that feeling of bliss you get when you're just in the middle and there's lights and everybody's dancing, having a good time, and you know the music's playing, and I don't know, it's just don't hesitate, just fucking do it. Yeah.
It's definitely a playground to do whatever you want with like the
Yeah.
people that you like care about or like good people that you know. Always go with people that you trust. Yes. Don't go with bad people because they will ruin your vibe.
Yeah, and I've never been so wrong about, you know, I don't know why I had a preconceived notion about that I wouldn't like it. Probably just because there's really not that much culture for it where I'm from.
Yeah.
And so I just had this preconceived notion that it's just going to be a bunch of like crazy people there. Like, so I was like, never thought it'd be my thing, but I've never been so wrong about something in my life. And so like after that, I just absolutely love it. We went to the drum circle in St. Pete a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's a great community. It's so fun, and just the creativity in it is what I really love about it. Just the freedom of expression that people have, how welcoming and kind everybody is. Like you can just do whatever you want, basically, as long as you're not harming anyone or anything,
Yeah.
and just be your own person.
Yeah, express yourself however you want, meet whoever you want, and just like,
Just do your thing. Just be
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about festivals. I'm really happy that you feel the same way.
Yes, it's incredible. That will not be my last one. I can say that with confidence.
So moving into that, what do you think your next festival will be?
Probably stay local still, or fairly local in Okeechobee.
Oh.
Gotta do the camping festival next. Yeah.
So Okeechobee's in March, and I'm super fucking excited for that one. Okeechobee is like a second home for me. Okeechobee and Halloween for sure for Florida camping festivals. I was like hyping it up to him. Is there any artists that you're super excited to see?
Oof. Okeechobee. There was a pretty good lineup. I'm like super drawing a blank right now, but I know I saw the lineup. And
Odessa's gonna be on it.
Yes.
Odessa,
Yes,
Excision, Ivy Lab, Darius, Earth, Fire, Wind. We just got like a plethora.
You can just go on and on and on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got indie bands, jam bands, house.
Yeah, like Local Natives. That's like a really good indie alt band that I really like a lot too. So
yeah.
But it's gonna be hard to like just go to a set like that, knowing how much I liked like the EDM sets and stuff like that. So.
Honestly, Okeechobee is a vibe in itself, and you're just gonna love it. I love the fact that you can just go to an indie set and then go to a house set and then go to a bass set. I love that variety, and the thing about that festival is that you can take your time. There's no rush to go see artists like this,
right?
Because it's all spaced out.
Yeah,
and Okeechobee's just taking your time, having a good time, chilling,
going with the
flow. then go and see the sets that you really want to see at like a designated time.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, before anything, I got these critter clips from Critter Clips. They just gave me them for free. These are the Tondro cat ears from Demon Slayer, which I freaking love. Thank you guys so much. The samurai swords are a great accessory and the little cat ear. Anything else to say? Are you good?
No, I think that covers everything. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on my podcast.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm super excited to see your path through the EDM world in the future.
Yeah, just my evolution into just being a wook.
He's gonna come back looking like a fucking wook next time.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.